Hello, sorry the thing looped in there. I had the wrong coloured lights on. I had white instead of blue for some reason. But here I am with the stream. Who have we got in the chat? Let's have a quick look. Glimpse and This is City are who have tuned in so far, so big ups to you guys. Now then, predicted 11. It's a weird one, I know. It's not typical. But I've gone for it. I've broken off now for the holidays. Nice, always a great feeling. Christmas right around the corner, so brace yourself, guys. It's going to be good. But yeah, like I was saying, my predicted 11's a bit funky, but I don't know. We've got to go funky now, I'm afraid. The players have shown over the last few weeks against clubs that we should be beating and clubs that should be a challenge. We can't do it in either. And therefore we need to change. We need to try new things. The new comments haven't loaded on EV Mux. Wait there. Let me just. Oh, did you lose me for a second there? Apologies for that. Anyway, what we got in the chat? So what we got here? Hello, Wi-Fi is bad. Glimpse and This is City. Can you vote on my latest post? Ruben Diaz on number 3. He left Benfica to win the league. He's won the cup He's won the cup, he's won the league, he hates United and he loves City. Hi, brilliant connect. Diaz injured again, I know. I guess you agree with me about finally changing things up. Yeah, I think it is time. It's time that we switch things around because the players have proven that they just can't do it as of late. And look, when a player plays badly, you typically take them out of the team. The players have been playing badly recently. The players that have come in for them haven't been much better. It's time to try something completely new. And if anything, it'll throw Villa off. Are Villa expecting to face our academy players over tomorrow afternoon? By the way, half 12 kickoff. PU, that stinks. But nonetheless, it's time to try and be different. It's time to try and try swap it around, do whatever. I agree with that 11, but I'd play Doku over Nunes. I was thinking about it, but I decided to go for Nunes to just back him because he shouldn't have been played. Well, he shouldn't. I should have. No, you know what? He shouldn't have been played at left back. You've got a great academy behind you. Trust one of those guys to come in. I know it's a derby, but you trusted Simpson Poussey to go and to start 4 away games in a row. Start someone at home in the derby, especially on the back of form we were. Nunes shouldn't have played at left back last game, and it was unfortunate that he did. So I'm backing him where he's played best this season. And, although I did call Nunes mediocre earlier in the week, he's still been one of our best players this season in terms of goal contributions. He's got 9. Jeremy Docker at left wing and centre back, I'm not sure. If it doesn't work, so what? But at least we would have tried something new, and maybe it does work. 2026 Europa League final is in Istanbul. This is City. Does Amarin United remind you of inverted tactics? You see, I disagree with this here. 1-0 Villa, says Glimpse. I'm not even going to call it out. Nunes should be on bench after that performance last game. He didn't even play that badly. He just messed up in a key moment. He was playing out of position, and I thought he did a decent job at left back. Very difficult, but he did it. All right, it wasn't fair on him. He had one of the hardest jobs all game to play at left back. And when you bear in mind who he was up against, Amad Diallo. Okay, and I know Amad Diallo was the guy that ended up being what got us. I can't justify putting all that hate on him. I thought, look, it's an awful error what he did. It is. It's awful, and he needs to learn to not do that. But now a performance is off the whole 90 minutes, though. I don't get that. a performance is based off 90. What I do agree here, this is a valid point, but to say it's a bad performance because of one error, and I know it's a bad error, I know it's an error that effectively loses us the game, okay, but from most other aspects of the game, he was fine. He was fine. He was solid. Okay, and at that point, you can't only blame Nunes on the second one either. You've got to blame everyone for that. And look, to blame Nunes for the crumbling of the team, sure, it's his error that leads to the crumble, but it's everyone's fault for dropping their heads. That's just weak mentality from the whole squad. How can you give the ball away? Yes. Yeah, that's true. It's an awful error. How can he do that? You know? Giving the ball away is one thing, but I think the penalty is even worse. What I will say is that Nunes is the first domino. I think that is the biggest thing to estimate. What I will say is that he is the first domino that leads to the others falling. That's what I will say on Nunes. And on this, I partly blame Vardiol for this too, because the rest of the back line starts dropping, but Vardiol stays forward, which leaves a gap for Ahmad to run into. Ahmad runs into the space that Vardiol leaves behind. If you watch the clip back, you'll see it. I think it's Kyle Walker's fault. It wasn't his fault. According to Man City fans. For those errors, no, it wasn't his fault, but still wasn't. I'd prefer it if he didn't play. Just if he costs us tomorrow's game and makes mistakes, don't be surprised. Yeah, Vardiol is also hugely at fault. He's mid-table gross. I do agree that Nunes isn't all that in terms of overall talent. Do I think he's got a long-term future at City? No. But the reason I'm starting him is because of what happened against United. That's the reason I'm starting him. Not necessarily the error. I'm more starting him because of the left back thing. I disagree with him playing at left back, and I don't know, maybe you guys too. I'm not Nunes' number one fan. This season I've probably gone a bit higher because he's actually been doing stuff. But look, I think Nunes, he deserves to play in his position, that he's done better than everyone else that's played there this season. To start Doku, Doku got pocketed last game, I'd like to mention. He did get pocketed. Mazraoui had him. I'm playing with my cousins, so I might not comment much. No worries. I call everyone, don't do favourites. I hate how Foden and Vardiol are so protected. They've been awful in what they should be doing. Yeah, Foden's been miles off the gas this season. I don't know why. He hasn't. The one thing I'll say on Foden is that he's picked up a couple of things here and there. Beginning of the season he wasn't there for the first few games, and then he picked up something else. Then he got ill, so he hasn't had the straight season to start performing in. But when he has performed, we expect him to play. And in the big games where we count on our big players like Phil Foden, like Haaland, neither of them have really been there. Kovacic's been our best player this season. I think I can't really argue with that. He's been easily top 3, to be honest. The best thing Vardiol's been for us this season is getting goals. Because he's been, for a centre-back, he's been relatively lethal. He's got 4 Premier League goals. I get what you're saying, Talsif, but then who else do you play? Gundo hasn't exactly been a star. He hasn't exactly been all that. Bernardo and Gundo, it's like this. It's literally this equals a loss. Kovacic, he's no Rodri, but he's the best we've got for me. Unless we discover that Jacob Wright and Nico Riley can do it even better. Sign a DM in January, it's a must. Absolutely. Anyway, I'm gonna get into the predicted 11 now, other than just talking about Núñez and other certain spots on the pitch, and we'll return to those spots. Ortega in goal. Don't know why he's been taken out of the team over Ederson. Ederson hasn't exactly come in and started playing brilliantly. Made errors against Juventus and United. I think he should do better on Ahmad's goal. I think he does brilliant on the penalty thing. I think until Núñez gives away the pen, him and Diaz have covered it really well. How has Diaz gotten injured, by the way? Do we know what that's from? Is it a training injury? If so. But nonetheless, Diaz not available for this game. It's a big blow, by the way. Such a shame. And we barely had him back. I think we got him. I think he started against Liverpool, and that's all we've really seen him. But Ortega in goal. Don't know why he got taken out. Rico, right back. Now then, look, I do want to say I don't know if this 11 is going to happen. It's probably not. I've started 5. Oh, okay. I actually went for McAtee on the right, but Savinho could be worse. I've gone for 4 academy players, and I'll roll with Savinho. Rico, I think he's obviously a good player. Got really unlucky against Palace. It's never a red. But yeah, Rico. I think he should start over Walker. Walker's not exactly been amazing. Wait, is Ederson injured? Oh, I'm not convinced Ederson is injured. Something has probably been said. Interesting. Okay. We better sign someone in January. Absolutely. Simpson Poussey at centre back. Look, he was here at the beginning of the bad form. And however, I think we will sign 3 players. 3 players, I take that. I'd really take that. Part of me can't wait for January. I'm really sad. Is it a bad injury? What do we know about it? Or is it just he's injured? Simpson Poussey though, look, he got benched most games as of late, but he was at the beginning of the losing run. And he got started in some difficult games. Got told to, but I'll go on to that because I think it's interesting. I think it was unfortunate that he got put into such difficult games, but I'd rather that over a half-fit Akanji, a half-fit Stones. If Ake's back in training, a half-fit Ake, I'd rather a fully fit academy player as opposed to a half-fit first-teamer. That's what I'm saying. Branthwaite, left centre back. Look, this guy got the start against Watford. We haven't really seen him since. Now, he was by no means phenomenal against Watford. I thought he was a bit average, to be honest, but he got started there. And look, let's do it again. Why not? Why on earth not? Let's just do it. Where's it going to get us if you play Akanji and Stones, even if they play well, and then we hear Pep say in the interview, oh yeah, we don't know how bad Akanji's injury is, we'll know by tomorrow. Stone's going to be out for another 4 weeks. I'd much rather just play the academy player, let those players, if we're going to let those players come back into the team, let them come back at their full fitness at the very least. Alright, I'll have a look at that thing here. By the way, if we sign 0 players in January, I think we are guilty of 115. It's a weird one, that. It's a weird one. The thing is, it wouldn't surprise me if we didn't sign any players. It wouldn't, there's a part of me that is dreading the fact that we'll bring in no one. I think it would be stupid to bring in no one, and I'm hoping we don't. But there's a small part of me that says we're not going to bring anyone in. Of course, that's not what I want. I want us to get off the injury conveyor belt now. That starts now. No more unfit players. Stones is back. They say he's fit. Start playing. He's really not. It would surprise me. All the reports say we are. So if we don't, I reckon something has happened with 115. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But back onto the predictive 11. Vardy left back. Look, even if I wanted Ake, I can't play him. I could go for an academy player, but I've decided to keep someone from the first team in there, and I'd rather Vardiol over Walker, to be honest. That's my humble opinion. Don't know if you guys agree. But yeah, I'd much rather have Vardiol in here than Walker. I've got to have at least one. I hope not both. Pivot, Kovacic and Nico Riley. Look, Kovacic has been pretty good this season. Hasn't really been a part of the losing run. And Nico Riley, he's barely been in the squad. You know, he's been on bench all the time for the player that will cover for Rodri if he gets injured. I said that so many times now, but I won't continue. Look, just go for it. Nico Riley played pretty well against Tottenham in the Cup when he played. I may have given him man of the match. I can't remember. You know, just give him a game, give him a go. You know, if it goes well, if it goes well and he ends up like playing brilliantly, Nico Riley, suddenly you've got a player that you've got an extra player in your squad. That's how it is. If he plays brilliantly against Villa Park and he's against Villa at Villa Park and he's like the reason we get a draw, the reason we get a win. Okay, if he ends up being the difference maker, then you've got an extra player for free. By the way, you know, that's one technically extra signing. Of course, I wouldn't want that to be classed as a signing, but that's how I'm looking at it. That's, you know, we go from however many players we got in the squad to one more. You know, that's the beauty of playing academy players. Some of them go brilliantly, some of them don't, but the ones that go brilliantly, they end up being gems in your squad. I do right over Riley, TBH. I was contemplating playing them both, but I decided to go for Kova to help with the stability. Either way, I think either is a good choice. You know, I think either isn't too bad. Wright was a CDM playing striker. Oh yeah, he did play further up, didn't he? Because did Haaland didn't play, right? Yeah, I thought Wright was. I remember Wright being pretty good in that game. To my knowledge, I remember we were singing the praises of the academy players, and why not? Seeing the academy players play is a breath of fresh air. It's just nice. It's just nice to see something different. It's nice to see new life in the club. You know, I'll go back now and see what I gave these players. Watch me have like given them like a 4 now. I didn't do a review. Oh yeah, I couldn't that day. Just remembered. Oh well, never mind. Well, I believe he played well anyway. Why is it apart from Foden, Rico, the only academy players? Petrus was Catalan, Eric Garcia. I know Garcia was so bad. He was awful to watch. It was so bad. Honestly, no idea. You know, I just hope when Oscar Bob comes back, he gets the respect he deserves, to be honest. You know, he gets to be put in that first team area. But yeah, we need these guys to play their best. The academy players playing their hearts out. You know, I can't really go at the academy players because I know that these academy players are going to try their best. Is the very thing. It's the thing. Most of these guys are probably City fans, okay, and have probably been in the club for a while. Watching Bailey play Bob like he did McAtee. Oh, I pray not. Bob is so clearly a special talent, and I just have the dreading. I don't know why, but I have the dreading feeling that we won't keep him. It's an awful feeling to have, and I don't want it to be the case. I really like the look of Oscar Bob. I was tempted to get I was tempted to get his name on on the shirt this season when I get one. Before he got injured, that's the thing. And I really hope when he comes back strong. Because it's painful to see him not get the chances he deserves. Well, it would be painful to not see him get the chance he deserves. I'm seeing too many links willing to sell him in trade deals. If that goes through, honestly, I think it would infuriate me, because look, we saw what happened when we let go of a top academy player in Cole Palmer. We saw what happened, and now he's the best young player in the league. Don't know if Oscar Bob will be the best young player in the league if he leaves, but I'm not willing to chance it. One report today said we are interested in 60 million release clause Garnacho. What, United? No. No, thank you. I think he's a solid player. I don't think he's that bad. But I'd rather stay clear. Keep what we got, thank you very much. I'll stay clear from Garnacho. Savinho, off the right. I think he's lacking confidence, is safe to say, because he likes to shoot, as we've seen as of late, and whether that's because he likes to shoot or because he really wants that goal, I'm willing to bet the latter. I feel bad for him. This isn't the environment he was probably hoping to come into. He came out not too long ago, said how he hates losing and how that win against Forest really helped him. And I can see why. And I want another win for him, for the team. Foden has Palmer surpassed Foden footballing wise, in my opinion. Not in overall football, but I believe he's a better football player. I believe as of this season he definitely has been. Last season I'd give it to Phil Foden, but this season he's playing better football than Phil Foden has since before the Euros. So I so wish we had a backup striker to drop laughing when Haaland's losing. I know. I mean, look at Villa's striker options, by the way. What was it? Watkins and Duran. Those are two solid ones. That's off the top of my head. They've even got Danny Ings if they need him. Danny Ings is at West Ham now, isn't he? Yeah, I believe he's at West Hampton now, to be fair. Nonetheless, whichever one he's at, they've still got two absolutely cracking striker options. We have one and no one else. No one else to put the foot on Haaland. I don't know, man. His press conferences don't seem convincing. If Pep goes to small squad again, look. The thing is, he said this not too long ago. Actually, going forward, maybe having a squad the size of Chelsea's is the way to go. And you know what? A part of me agrees that having so many players, not as many as Chelsea, they've got 40, but having 25, for example, having something like that could really be beneficial. I'm not sure how many we have now, but if we have more than 25, go more than what we have now. We need more players, He spoke about Rodri recently in an interview. Rodri wouldn't have been injured because he played 75 games last season and he didn't get any break. I had to play him against Villa and against Arsenal and Inter Milan. That frustrates me, by the way. The fact that we played him early. That frustrates me that we played him before he came back, before he was even ready. Because we were doing okay without him. We could have maybe scraped through. We were unbeaten still. We could have maybe have done it. And to be fair, against Arsenal, we did do it, and we got a draw. To not have Rodri now because he came back early sucks. And we played him when he wasn't even ready. That annoys me so much. Didn't we learn from last season rushing players back is bad? Because Kevin De Bruyne literally picked up, a 5-month injury-ish? Where's the learning? Where's the learning from our mistakes? Medical staff partially to blame. They need to be firm when a player is fit or not fit. I know. And semi-fit, don't take it. A player's got to be fit for me. I don't take half fit. I don't take 3/4 fit. Okay, if there's any chance that that injury that they've gotten can spike again, or any chance that they can pick up an injury on a whole, don't play them. Play them when they are ready and when they're at their best. I'd rather wait for my team to be fully ready and drop some points at the beginning of the season, and so that when the team comes back, they're nice and strong and they're ready, they're fully fit, and then they can go on what they need to do. Rather than the situation we're in now, players keep getting injured. Some players are out for long term. Oscar Bob, Rodri out until at least next year. Oscar Bob back like February time, and Rodri will be back like June. So we need to see these players fully fit. I don't care about half fit anymore. I don't care about 3/4 because it's just going to cost us more injuries. We can't have more injuries. How big's our squad, by the way? I'm so curious to how many actual first teamers we have. I'm gonna find out now because we've got a teeny squad and it's almost laughable. All right, try count through this quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait there. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22, and if you add McAtee on top, 23. And if you add Simpson Poussey and Wilson Esbrand on top, then we get 25. Like, what's that squad? Take out Oscar. So, and now, when you look at injuries, so I'm not even going to count McAtee and Wilson Esbrand and Simpson Poussey because they ain't going to play. All right, that's the realization that we face. So that brings us back down to 22. Bob is out. That's 21. Rodri's out. That's 21. Ake and Akanji, apparently according to Transfer Market, still out, bringing us to a squad of 19. 19 players. We only got 20. Bob is back next month. Amazing news. Phenomenal. Thank you. All the stuff I've seen, he's already personal training CFA. Yeah, he's been walking for a good chunk of time now, so it's great to see that he's making... Obviously, he's going to be a while to regain that fitness. The rust is going to be there, and he's going to need to shake that off. But bring him back when he's ready, and maybe to see something exciting would be brilliant. I feel so bad that he has to come into this. The same with Echeverry, same with partially anyone we sign in January. You know, they're coming into an absolute chaos of a club at the moment, and the January signings will be looked at the players that need to fix it. You know, that's like the pressure that's going to be put on them. You know, from media mainly. Pep will say the right things to them, but media coming back, media will basically be like, Man City, save your January signings. Any player we sign in January, doesn't matter if it's, as long as they're a decently known name and they costed a decent amount, people will glue their eyes to them because they're going to be reviewed as the player that will save our season. You know, Guimaraes if he comes in, Kimmich, Riki, that one German guy, Echeverry. You know, whoever comes in, they're going to be looked at the players that need to save our squad. And I think it's unfair. But as long as they can help us in any shape or form, that's what's important. I can't lie, I wouldn't have hardly any expectations for Bob not being an idiot like people with Slovenia putting them under giant pressure to save the season. Yeah, Bob should be treated delicately, you know? Bob's just broken his leg. He's coming back. If he plays a game and he makes a mistake, I don't want anyone going into him. Sure, you're going to show frustration. They'd be like, unlucky, close. Okay, and if it's worse than that, then, you know, scrutiny, I'm fine with. Okay, you have to criticize, but don't go expecting. Look, I don't think Bob's going to get more. If Bob gets 10 G&A this season, then he is a star for the future. He is genuinely a star. If he gets 5 G&A, he is genuinely promising talent. Players like Guimaraes, I would have huge expectations for them. Yeah, fingers for that too. It's going to be a lot of money. Guimaraes is going to be at least 66 million ish. They're not going to be cheap. Not going to be cheap. But anyway, back to Aston Villa. But this has been good convos. De Bruyne at the cam. Look, I know we've been losing even when he's been back, but it's been better to have him back than without him. I feel we've actually been making chances. It's not De Bruyne's fault that the chances he makes people can't take. Haaland against Juventus, how he doesn't score that is crazy. Haaland against Palace as well, how he doesn't score that is crazy. If he scores those goals, the games, they change astronomically. Juventus were sitting back against us in that first half and were letting us go on to them. And if we took a 1-0 lead, great. We didn't get another chance like that. And Palace, we almost answered back straight away, but Haaland missed that chance. If he scores that, there's so much more time in the first half. I always do off topic. I know, don't worry. And I do like off topic. I like to, but, got to revert back to the main subject from time to time. Nunez at left wing. Look, if you did start Doku, I'm not going to rant and rave, be like, oh, Nunez, get him back there. He played left back last game. It wasn't fair. I'm not going to be like that because I can understand. I can understand the scrutiny towards Nunez, the bad mistake. It wasn't a good error. It's one of the worst of the season. Probably the worst error of the season. But I hope that he can... I hope if Nunez gets a goal tomorrow, I think that would do him so much good, to be honest, because to hear the fans cheer for him as opposed to... I don't know if people booed at the stadium, but boo at him online, I guess. Haaland went insane to 22-23, and to good 23-24, to, in my opinion, very poor striker in 24-25, exclude the first 3 games, by the way. Yeah, those first, 5-ish games he had, those, basically his games in August, they were amazing to watch, It was brilliant. He's scoring goals for fun, he's got 18 goals this season, and you look at 18 goals, and you think, wow, he's doing pretty good. He's doing pretty good. You look at his first 5 games, and he's gotten 1, 4, 7, 10. 10 goals in 5 games. Pretty good, right? It's pretty good. But then you look at every game after that, and he's gotten 3 goals in 10 games in the Premier League. That's where the issues lie. Yeah, he's missed a lot of big chances, Haaland, no denying it. And if this was Darwin Nunez, by the way, it would be everywhere. That's all I'm going to say. It would be everywhere. But to finish off my 11, Erling Haaland, look, you got a big chance against Villa and Villa away December time last year. You genuinely did. It was a huge chance. You didn't take it. It was nice and early, and Unai Emery made the save. No, Unai Emery. Emi Martinez made the save. You score that, maybe the game changes. Maybe we can actually do something with that. But you didn't. Score it this time, if you get it. Score the next one you get, if you get it. Score the next one after that. Please, wear whatever boots you wore in 22-23. I don't care if they're not a part of whatever sponsorship deal you have now. Just wear them now. I know, they're always having some sort of chuckle. I don't get it. Look, me on the pitch, everyone else is essentially an enemy. Even if, my best pal is on that team, it's not going to stop me from absolutely slide tackling him. Yeah, I know. Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire pocketing him. It's crazy. I saw Harry Maguire just out-muscle him against United. I couldn't believe it. I genuinely couldn't believe it. It was crazy. But Villa away, it's going to be tough. It's probably going to be a hard watch at times. I hope we can do something, but the tone of my voice doesn't suggest confidence. Thank you all for tuning in. I do appreciate your support. Over 1K views on the United watch along now, by the way, so I appreciate that big time. Insane growth on that. I don't even know why. Thank you for tuning in. Live watch along tomorrow and a review to follow it up. Prediction? 1-0 City, come on.